Good morning, Kansas City, and welcome to an edition of KCPS Homeroom. I'm joined today by Dr. Kia Turner, someone I have worked with in the past. And when we were doing so, we wrote a poem together that we would like to start off with today. It's called Paper Towels.
Very excited.
They're tearing paper towel dispensers off the wall without anyone there to see them fall. They're tearing paper towel dispensers off the wall. Can you tell what's behind it at all?
You see paper, and I see last night when my mom yelled at me before leaving for the evening to watch my youngest sibling while she works again.
Son, them towels are there for me and you. I can't understand what you're trying to do. For why break things that others can use? This is just a problem. This is abuse.
I see yesterday being cut off in conversation by a teacher who knew what I was saying had nothing to contribute to the discussion, but was everything I needed to say about how I never feel relaxed anywhere.
When we walk in and out of these doors, we are not clean, our hands dripping for sure. All the boys, they can't keep themselves clean. There seems no reason, so break it down to me.
How I'm not sure I'm loved by anyone. How I can't imagine anything other than right now. You say, why do you tear paper towel dispensers off the wall? Why can't we have soap for our hands?
How can we better this inner city place if the goals some have are to create this disgrace? And some would only think we're capable of such. But I wonder if you know that, because we're doing too much.
I say, why can't I use my voice here? Why are my words not good enough? Why am I never allowed to say what needs to be said? What has to be destroyed before you ask me?
For they're tearing paper towel dispensers off the wall, and there ain't no reason behind it at all. Because we see the problem, we even know why. But when will it be better? When will we try?
If I slept, did I learn? Am I happy here? What do I need to be whole? You can't have dry hands. You can't be clean. Because none of us are clean or dry or safe or heard. Why should you have that if we don't?
Paper towels.
Right. Nice. I forgot.
Oh, no, I was feeling that, Kia.
Yeah.
That I was thinking so. So here's what happened with this piece, guys. And then we want to talk about what it revealed to us. And I think what would be really fantastic is someday to talk about what it might reveal to others. Kia and I work together in the Kansas City Public Schools in the area of curriculum writing. And as I was transitioning into being the English coordinator, she's great help to laying some foundation and supporting us as we lost one of our amazing members of our team. And she and I knew him, Dr. Scott Squires.
Lord.
And, peace be to him and his family. So what really started to evolve is I write poems and taught creative writing a lot and use it as a way to kind of think through the process of being a teacher, and also got more involved as a white male seeking the ability to be more culturally responsive and also the ability to lead these conversations with people who are trying to achieve the same goal. Oftentimes there's so many barriers, and so there needs to be a lot of people stepping to the plate. I've learned that in the last few years. And so I got a hold of Kia and I said, do you remember that poem we wrote? And to be honest, paper towel dispensers on the wall, I wrote that at school while I was wishing I could wash my hands.
Okay. Listen.
Right? I mean, really, you can hear the voice is really more about, man, I go in this bathroom, and I would say I made a point of always using the student bathroom as a teacher instead of going to sometimes even more disgusting room for some reason. And it just really made me question things. And I think I left some things out in that voice that I wanted to talk about with Kia. So my initial goal was just to unpack what I did, and then I want to have Kia do that too. So will you unpack, kind of like I was there, what you felt compelled to say back when you heard me initially write this poem?
When I read the poem that you wrote initially, first of all, I love KCPS. Okay, absolutely love it, honey. Graduate of the district, which is how I came to creative writing. I went to Paseo High School. Okay, district's in my blood, honey.
Right.
Just let it be what it is.
I knew that.
And so, okay, I feel like that about probably this Kansas City community in general, right? Greater Kansas City area, y'all my people, because I am you. But when I read the poem, I thought about the student response to it. Like at the time I was working in a building in KCPS at a high school, and we never, ever had paper towels in the bathroom. They would get like shoved in the toilet. Okay, there was never soap in the soap dispensers. So because it was such a multicultural school, I'd have kids coming up to me like, hey, Miss Turner, I can't even wash my hands in the bathroom. There's never any paper towels or any soap. And it's not the only school in the district that I've seen that. I've been in several district schools as an employee, and it was the same problem over and over. And what occurred to me, and we talk about trauma now, and even though everybody's like, oh, trauma, it's been around for a while, let me tell you, really trying to get down to the root of the why of why kids do what they're doing is recent, honey. Mm-hmm. I'm talking like last 3 years, at least here in the Midwest, recent. We have not been thinking about that. So what administrators would do would be like, I'm gonna lock the bathroom. I'm gonna remove the door. You said this, Chris, like I'll remove the doors from the bathroom. But we never thought, what's happening that's causing a kid to come in here and say, I'm gonna tear everything down. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter what you try to do. And in my one-on-one conversations with kids, because they will always come talk to me, probably because I had snacks and also because I'm talk toable. But they would tell me these kinds of things like, this is what's happening with me at home. This is why I'm skipping school. And we just never put the two and two together until very recently.
Sure. And yeah. I can hear that in the lines that I'm writing when I read them back to myself, when I read them to other people. I'm like, can you tell what is behind it at all? I hear that I'm trying to think on that, mm-hmm. but I think I'm not exactly saying that. Even nearing the end of the poem, I start changing over to, because we see the problem, we even know why. When will it be better? When will we try? So I think, yeah, I'm nearing that thought as I get to the end, but I know that I wrote this piece purely out of kind of this notion of this wouldn't necessarily be the state of living at Target. It's strange to me, but I always compare like what we offer as an educational facility to Target, because for some reason there isn't a nasty Target or I don't think there are too many. Maybe we could find one that's a little more fallen apart, but no matter what, they're going to provide like the community, the experience that everyone deserves all the time. So some of my frustration was that, but it was also students, guys, this is gross, Yeah. And so, I want us to know that it is too. And that like as a social justice, demand soap, demand paper towels, and then let's come up with a solution like that might involve the students too. I do know a building who removed it from inside of the doors to just outside. And what's nice is that social awareness of it being public. It's a self-monitoring situation. And you don't have to create a rule or treat somebody, badly. You certainly don't lock the door. So there's a lot in this, and as an educator, I see all that. And some of the times we're not allowed to comment it on much because we're involved in that. And it's part of the system we work in. We have to do something. But
the system is what frustrated me. Yeah. Like thinking about this, I cannot tell you how frustrating it is to have kids have a need and to have administrators and really not even administrators as a group, the system itself not be prepared to meet it. So it's kind of always a reactive situation because we just didn't have at the time the tools to be proactive. So I'm frustrated because the kids are frustrated and I can totally understand their frustration, but we still have these lock the doors, remove the doors from the toilet, policies, because no one was talking about, making it a safe environment, talking about social emotional learning. No one was talking about helping children to de-escalate or helping them to name, what was going on with them. And so it just felt like we were kind of in a cycle where kids were like, I'm just gonna keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. And then the system is like, you need to do better. Why aren't you doing this? You know, we need to put more rules on it, but it never was getting to the root. And so I think that's what encourages me about the turn that education's taking these days, is that we are really looking at the root, right? Like, how do we get this fruit? Let's go back. What are we doing that's creating these kinds of outcomes in students? Or what are the environments that they're coming from doing that's causing this kind of thing? And I'm so grateful we're asking the questions.
I am too. And that's one reason I kind of wanted to have this conversation. Also, if we're getting anywhere near the root in this example to others, it's not because of we did it by ourselves. And I would say you've helped me get closer to the root. And, you know, in writing the poem back. And then, you know, me milling around and looking back through my work and reflecting didn't seem as big a thing on my radar at the time. That's the way art kind of grows. And, you know, but something this tangible, because I always like to try to write about something that's really happening, really based on some paper towel dispensers, and really contained a lot more than just what I originally perceived, you know. So we don't see our limited view by ourselves, I guess is what I would say. So I am excited to kind of lead those and look for those examples, to collaborate with other people to help not just me, but maybe point out that that would be a good process for other people to start to work on with someone, you know. And
I agree. And I think that, look, right now, you know, everybody's having to learn from home or getting ready to learn from home. And I think that's going to present its own set of challenges. And I think whenever we do have kids back into the building, honey, it's not just going to be paper towel dispensers. You know, it could be a lot of things. And I think in the interim, we'll probably see parents and families who are just like, you know, I'm frustrated with this. I don't know what to do. You know, giving pushback, not because they don't care, but because there's so much that it's happening all at once that unless you have those skills to process and sort through and categorize, you end up just sort of, it becomes like an implosion, you know, almost. And so I think what I love about writing, and to your point, what I love about art is that it's able to capture, you know, kind of the zeitgeist. And then I think it's incumbent upon us then to figure out, if we know that this is how it is or how it will be, how can we create what our students will need to really thrive, you know, to the extent that we can. And that's what you all are doing. You're doing all this cool digital learning. I saw on Facebook, y'all got like a hip hop course and stuff now. Is that on the internet and everything?
We are going to finalize it, but yeah, we're working on bringing it to a close. I'm in that group. Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. And starts with the racism in Kansas City class that builds into third and fourth quarter, where you take on an institution that you've selected through rhyme, all the elements of hip hop, design, dance, however you want to represent hip hop. And it's kind of interested to then make it more than just us as the audience. We're going to try to look for some people to really hear these young people's voices. So,
and see, that's a way for us to elevate them and to not, like, in my view, I'm trying to represent their voice, but how dope would it be for them to be able to lift their own and say, let me tell you from the lens of my personal experience, what's happening here. This is where I'm at, you know, and then being able to express that in all these different modalities. I didn't get a racism in Kansas City class, honey, until I was in college. Okay, look, y'all doing that.
I hear you. There are authors I learned about that I wondered where they'd been my whole childhood growth. And some of my favorite people that I missed out on a ton. Got to see Amiri Baraka perform when he was at UMKC.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I know. And luckily I knew who he was, you know, and then there were people who were still not even aware of who that was and probably still don't know today. So, you know, check out Amiri Baraka. But to that note, students, if you're out there watching and listening, because we know you are, we would like to hear your work. And that's one reason I'm kind of going in this door of showing that we participate in the arts ourselves. You can see it's real and that other people can do this thing and take risks and feel good about it. So I feel extremely excited about what Dr. Turner and I jumped into today. I think it might be the start of some more things. And I would like to see students, if they want to have this same conversation, or if you want to have maybe a talk with another person and co-author something. That could be happening too. So really great things. Maybe you have a differing view with a person or come from a different background and want to try to write a piece together. Oh, that could be something solid. Kansas City would love to hear that. My email is codam@kcpublicschools.org. I've been giving that one out on these shows, so you'll know it's going to a school district, not an agent or somebody. And I'm getting some people to send in some things. So, Dr. Turner, thank you so much for your work today. Do you have any parting suggestions to young people out there working on their craft?
I would say the best art is authentic. So don't get caught trying to make something, whatever your idea of perfect is. The best is when you put yourself in it. You can always go back and refine. I want to refine what we just did today. Me and Chris were talking about that. Right. But your best is just authentically you. Put that out there. Submit it to Chris. Somebody's going to connect to it because you put your real self in it.
Very cool. All right. We'll leave it at that. This has been KCPS Homeroom. Wonderful times. We're investigating ourselves in this world we live in through poems. So we'll do other art forums, other kinds of interviews. If you're a business person, whoever you might be, I bet writing has something to do with it. So Come on and talk to me about it. Thanks so much. Thanks again, Dr. Turner. We're out.
Bye.